Hold on tight, Raider Nation. Something major is brewing in Las Vegas. And no, this isn't just a rumor. It's a game-changing twist that could shake the entire NFL landscape. What you're about to hear comes straight from the inside, and it's already sending shockwaves through the silver and black community. But before we dive into the breaking news, take a second, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment of Raiders action. We're your go-to source for everything that matters in Vegas football, raw, real, and first on the scene. Now, back to the chaos. The Raiders are in the thick of their roster reshuffle, but no one saw this coming. Two key names, Aidan O'Connell and Jakorian Bennett, are now being floated as possible trade chips. Not practice squad guys, not bench warmers, real contributors. And what's more surprising, the logic behind this move is starting to make more and more sense. Now let's talk about Aidan O'Connell, because things are heating up fast. Drafted in the 4th round of 2023, O'Connell came to Vegas with a clear mission: be the dependable backup, ready to step in when called upon. And for a while, that's exactly what he was: solid, secure, second in line. But this is the NFL, and in Vegas, nothing stays still for long. Enter Cameron Miller, a 6th-round pick this year. Quietly, steadily, he's been making waves in training camp. Sharper reads, faster decisions, pinpoint throws, and now he's getting more reps, raising eyebrows and putting serious pressure on O'Connell's role. Some insiders say O'Connell's value is at its peak, and that's exactly why the Raiders might strike now. Not out of doubt, not out of disrespect, out of strategy. Why hold onto a backup when you can flip him for a valuable mid-round pick, especially if you trust the guy waiting in the wings? It's bold, it's risky, but in Vegas, that's the game. And the plot thickens, because O'Connell isn't the only one on the bubble. Jakorian Bennett's name is now in the mix, and his situation might be even trickier. Jakorian Bennett was once seen as a rising star, but now his position in the Raiders' secondary is slipping fast. Despite entering the league with solid expectations, Bennett is falling behind in a defensive backfield that's quickly getting crowded. At just 5'10", he doesn't quite match the physical mold that head coach Pete Carroll traditionally favors: tall, rangy, and aggressive corners. And that preference is becoming crystal clear in training camp. Names like Eric Stokes, the experienced free agent, and rookie Jakorian Richardson are making waves. Even Darian Porter, a name few expected to challenge for snaps, is getting more looks than Bennett. Meanwhile, Bennett's snaps are shrinking, and analysts are starting to connect the dots. According to insider reports, his absence from key rotations could mean one thing: he's on the outside looking in when it comes to the final 53-man roster. For the Raiders, the question becomes strategic. Do you wait and risk losing him for nothing, or trade him now while there's still value on the table? This is more than just a roster tweak. It's about asset management. Can GM Tom Telesco walk the tightrope, maximize draft capital, create space, and still keep the roster playoff ready? Because what's coming next could define the direction of this franchise. While trade talks shake up the Raiders roster, one move brings clarity and sends a bold message. Amid the uncertainty surrounding names like Aidan O'Connell and Jakorian Bennett, the Raiders front office just made a powerful statement. Some pieces aren't going anywhere. Enter Kolton Miller. The veteran left tackle just locked in a massive contract extension, $66 million through 2028, with $42.5 million guaranteed. And this isn't just a paycheck, it's a declaration. Las Vegas is building around its core, and protecting the quarterback is priority number one. Miller is that cornerstone, the guardian of Geno Smith's blind side. The kind of player you don't replace, you invest in. Drafted in the 1st round back in 2018, Miller has over 100 games under his belt, and more importantly, the respect of the locker room. Coaches trust him, teammates count on him, opponents know his name. But don't forget, 2023 wasn't smooth sailing. Injuries, pressure, and inconsistent line play tested Miller and the unit as a whole. Last season, Kolton Miller wasn't himself, and it showed. A nagging shoulder injury held him back, and the impact was brutal. According to ESPN, Miller allowed 11 sacks and 65 pressures, a clear sign that the Raiders' offensive wall was cracking. And the run game? Dead last in the league, averaging just 79.8 yards per game. Without their anchor, the line lost rhythm, power, and protection. But that chapter is closed. Now fully recovered from surgery, Miller is back, and he's coming with a vengeance. During Otis and early training camp, he's already showing crisp communication with Coach Pete Carroll and a level of focus that echoes his prime years. This isn't just about blocking technique, it's about identity. In a recent interview with the Athletics' Tashin Reed, Miller made it clear. I want to be a Raider forever. When a locker room leader says that, you listen. And the effects go far beyond emotion. When Miller is locked in, the whole offensive line levels up. Geno Smith has more confidence, better protection, sharper decision-making, and the offense becomes dangerous again. In fact, if the line stays healthy, Geno could be on track for the most efficient season of his career in 2025. But offense alone won't win championships. To truly balance this team for a playoff run, the Raiders must tighten up the defense, and that's exactly where things get interesting. Earlier this week, reports leaked that Las Vegas was on the brink of landing a key defensive piece in a smart, budget-friendly trade. It looked like the Raiders were about to pull off one of the smartest trades of the offseason, until disaster struck. According to ESPN's Seth Walder, Las Vegas was eyeing a low-risk, high-reward move, landing Browns cornerback Greg Newsome II along with a 2027 seventh-round pick in exchange for just a 2026 seventh-rounder. A steal on paper. Why would Cleveland even consider it? Cap space. The Browns are projected to face a $35.4 million cap deficit in 2026 via overthecap.com, and Newsome, entering the final year of his rookie deal, was suddenly expendable. For the Raiders, this was gold. Newsome isn't just experienced, he's battle-tested and young, exactly what Las Vegas needs in its shaky secondary. With Eric Stokes, Darian Porter, and Jakorian Richardson still scrapping for depth chart spots, Newsome would have brought instant credibility. But then everything flipped. On Wednesday, Cleveland's Martin Emerson, one of their top corners, suffered a ruptured Achilles and is expected to miss the entire season. Just like that, the Browns' willingness to offload Newsome vanished. Now, what looked like a bargain is likely off the table or comes at a much higher price. That doesn't mean the deal is dead, but if the Raiders still want Newsome, they'll have to either up their offer or wait for the final roster cuts and hope a similar opportunity emerges. And the clock is ticking, because Las Vegas still needs a reliable anchor in its defensive backfield. As the roster battles rage on, one thing is clear: missing out on Greg Newsome might go down as a major setback in the Raiders' offseason strategy. With Aidan O'Connell and Jakorian Bennett still surrounded by uncertainty, and Kolton Miller's future locked in, the Raiders find themselves at a crucial crossroads. The defense still needs help, the secondary still has holes, and time is running out. The final roster cuts are approaching fast, and the decisions made now could shape the entire 2025 campaign. Will the Raiders make a last-minute move, or ride with the squad they've got? One thing certain, every choice from here on out matters.